Well, it's been about a week since I filmed the last video on this old machine, and I got updates. Nothing's changed. I went ahead and did the right thing and just let her chew on some WD-40 to help us get through some of these rusty bolts that we're gonna have to deal with. But the engine's still locked up. So today, we're gonna install maybe the most important piece of equipment on a Honda that's been sitting for 25 years. Be patient, I'll tell you what it is. The engine delete kit. Yep, I reckon we just get started. Hey buddy, you ready to move? I went ahead and kind of just scooted the fuel lines around off camera a little bit, and well, they both snapped immediately. So, you know, that's one thing we don't have to do is pull the fuel line off of the float bowl. Kind of nice. Saves us a bunch of time. What I do have to do is get in here and this is a fuel cross feed. I'll show you when we get the tank off, but there's a cross feed in here with a line. There's a nipple on either side of the tank that comes down and a line that connects the two. It ties together underneath the frame. So I've got to pull one side of this off. Then we should be pretty much free to take the tank off. We'll see how that goes. What? Listen. Yelling at me is only acceptable sometimes. This might be one of those times. I know it's hard to see, but it's hard for me to see too. There's a clip in here that I need to get off. Oh. Well, I think that may have done it. Watch that side for me. If you see it pop off, holler at me. Well, there it is. Oh my, we got all kind of fuel coming out of here. I mean, it's not fuel, it's varnish. Key out. We should be able to just open up this seat. And we've got this tank strap back here. And I think that's the only thing holding the... Never mind. There's nothing holding the tank in back here. Okay, well, we'll set you up there. I think that's everything. Just the cross feed. We don't have any more fuel lines. Okay, well, let's see. We're gonna be sitting on these rubber stoppies up here. Up. And, oh, there it is. Nasty. Oh, how does everything look? Not great, not terrible. Well, let's get the airbox off, both sides. You know, before I pull the airboxes off, I need to pop the chokers off of our carburetor boots here. Oh, well, that's rusty. Oh, hey, but she spins. That's free enough, I imagine. I tell you fellas, just letting her eat on some WD-40 for a week has done quite a bit. Oh, that choke works. Cool. What size is that, 10? 12? Nothing. Well, let's try this again. Ugh. Well, that's just not getting loose. What do we have? Something on the other side? Oh, yeah. Hey. Yep. All right. Stand by. How about now? Get out of the way, little buddy. Okay. Hey. Okay. I was going to say, look, it's good news. There's black paint. That doesn't mean anything. Dude. That's actually really clean. Huh. Nice. Little brass nips on there, dude. That's kind of wild. Okay, well, all right. Bucket for parts. Parts in bucket. Boots feel soft. Oh, those usually break off on these things pretty quickly. What do we have? Oh no, another 10 millimeter. Is that the last one? Looks like it. Oh, that's gonna be that crossover tube. Oh. Wait a second. What does this look like inside? Oh my goodness. Well, perfect. The internet's gonna think I'm lying. I just figured it was gonna be chewed up by mice and rats, and I mean, that's super clean. Like, we can still use that clean. No freaking way, dude. The inside of the airbox also pretty freaking clean. I don't believe it, but I guess I got to. I'm looking right at it. Let's stick this back. Nope. Other side. You pop this off right here. And then pop the top out. Work it around it. Oh, I just don't believe it. This is the other side. And I mean, factory. She's mint. Wow. Why is this engine locked up? Okay, well, we'll put these back together and put them someplace safe. Well, that's like 150 bucks on filters I don't have to spend yet. I just don't believe it. I think realistically, our next step is to pull off this exhaust. This side looks like it might fight us a little bit with the foot pegs in place. And that side's gonna fight us also with the foot pegs in place. Okay, well, what is our kickstand attached to? Tell me it's the foot pegs. Of course. Oh yeah. The thing is, there's a split in this exhaust, meaning it's two pieces. It's not actually split, it's just rusted away. That's different. There's a header and a silencer and a coupling right in the middle. I think it's gonna be a better idea just to pull our foot pegs off, because that'll get those out of the way of the engine and all that. Yeah, all right, okay, all right. You convinced me. Let's get her up on the center stand. No dice. 4, 3, 2, neutral. I think these missed some WD-40. Ugh. These look pretty dry, but they are cracking apart. Ooh, they don't feel nice though, let me tell you. Well, there's no washer on that one. Okay, gross. This is kind of what I've been talking about right here. I mean, outside of the bolts, disgusting. But break it apart, kind of nice. Could be worse. Other side. Now y'all tell me if it's coming loose over there. I can't see it. What are we hung up on? Brakes. Right. That's it. Wow, those are heavy. Where's my deep dish 12 millimeter? All right, thin crust it is. Go ahead and place your bets in the comments. How many studs pull out? They have been, well, that one might not have been tight. What do we, That's not trying to pull the stud out. Let's just leave that there for a second. On. Crack? No. Uh-oh. There's the crack. The stud started pulling out. So I ran that nut back in just to reseat the stud and then break tension on the nut, because I really don't want to pull these studs out. Okay. Well, doesn't always work that well, but did this time. And we take those little victories on something this rusty. You know, it's wiggling. That's good news. Hey, now under the buddy pegs. Oh, no way, dude. I don't reckon we pull studs out of this. This we just break stuff. Oh, okay. I'm telling you, fellas, just let her sit for a week. Feed her some WD-40 or PB Blaster, whatever your penetrant of choice is. Just every day. Whole bike. You really can't have too much. Let her sit. This thing is an absolute rust bucket, and it's coming apart with minimal hesitation. Okay, there we go. We've got an exhaust off the hanger. I could also have just pulled this bolt out of the buddy peg here and just brought it all with me, but it's a bunch of parts just sitting around. Okay, well, let's get these off the rest of the way then. There's our washer. Huh. Still split. I wonder if... What's the best way to do this? Maybe... Can we use the header to kind of... Yeah. That's kind of working. What? What do we got? Our seals? Just our little seal spacers. What are those? It's not a seal. What? Look at how chromy. That's a homie with a lot of chromy. No way. That's better looking than I expected on the outside. However, we got a bunch of carbon built up on the inside. Yuck. We should be able to just slide this off. Yes. Cool. There's two. Hey, get. Cool, cross-thread it. Just cross-thread it. That's fine. Thankfully, the way that these little exhaust flanges sit on here, I can see my studs real easily. There's, I don't know, 3/16 of an inch gap between this exhaust flange itself and then the head. So I can kind of watch those guys. Look, there's no real reason why I'm interested in keeping the studs inside the head, other than the fact that it's easier to get studs out of a head than it is to get locked up nuts off of a stud while still keeping that stud intact. In my experience, or with the tools that I have available anyway, that's the case. Okay. Hey. Are you ready? It's time to leave. It's time to leave. Wow, that is just filthy. I thought there was going to be rust in there. A real quick update. Those of you with keen eyes like that peninsula in Alaska may have noticed that the switch assembly is back together up here. And well, that's because the throttle came out of it. Nice and free. Look at this. You can't see, but you gotta trust me. Also, clutch cable came out of it. Of course, the clutch discs were all stuck together, so a little rocking it back and forth in fifth gear knocked those guys apart. So she spins, and she locks up, and she does either one of those when you tell it to. Real nice. You were right. It is better over here, out of the sunlight, where you can see. I won't do it again. Well, just make note of this, fellas. There's 3 positions on your choke lever. You got full choke, cracked choke, no choke. Hey, door works. Does this one work? Yup. All right. It's kind of crazy how clean that is in there. Do we have... Oh! That may have hurt something a little bit. Well, okay. It wasn't real stuck. I stuck my finger in there and just, you know, wanted to see if I could push the slide up a little bit. And it didn't want to go. But then it wented. And now it's free. What about the other side? I don't really want to do that. I'd rather take the top off and the diaphragm out first and then, you know, and then see. Yeah, that one's stuck too, so, okay, all right. Well, stop messing with that, Cotton. Pull this sinkage off of here. Aye, Captain. Hey, I think that's all we need. Is that coming off of there? Yup, it looks to be. All right, leave that for now. What do we need? We need to go ahead and pop throttle out of here also. Cool, drain's already off. Overflow, not drain. This is overflow. Float bowl overflow. Already out of there. Okay, we just wiggle this around a little bit. Will it come out? Do we have some? We got some side to side. Hey, wait. Perfect. Yeah, these are, I mean, they're not crazy, but they're pretty hard. Just crusty. That's good news though. We could turn our adjustment and it doesn't try and turn the cable. There we go. There she is. Wow, dude. Honestly, it's really clean inside there. That is so clean. Inside. So why is the motor locked up? Doesn't sound like our float's doing float things. Do you guys want to watch me clean these carburetors out? Maybe rebuild them, I'm not really sure. Is that a real easy no way, dog? Just let me know. It's gonna happen. I'll film it if you want me to. Oh, this one still has its little overflow connected. A little circle. Make a little circle. That was a bigger circle than I expected. Well, get out of there. Perfect. All right, there's our throttle cables. Look at this, they move freely. Oh, they don't return. Oh yeah, nice. All blocked off, except for the exhaust is wide open. No problem. You know, one thing about these old Hondas that you never hear about is you don't actually need tools for them. I know these look like hex heads and stuff everywhere. Yep. But they're all just, you know, they're just thumb screws. Yeah. They just come right off. Okay, something that I like to do. This is probably a little unnecessary on this bike, but I'm gonna get a little paint pen here and just boop, make me a reference mark for where those splines line up normally. It doesn't really do much, except that since we're gonna have this engine off, if for whatever reason I do need to put the shifter shaft back on here, I know exactly how it's oriented without having to hook everything else back up, and you know, who knows? You never know. We'll just wiggle that a little bit loose. Also, all these little spline dealies are dished, so as long as your bolt is sticking in there, you're not actually going to be able to pull your shifter off of the shaft. I mean, you can actually, people do it, but you're not going to have many splines left on the outside afterwards. I mean, get more rusty, you know what I'm saying? Not enough rust on this bike. 4 screws all there. Weird. I guess I should go ahead and pull this seat off too. This is quick and easy. Couple little clippies. 1. Two. Woohoo! Light work. Oh, that's easy. Give me a little bit of it. Yeah, dude. Nice and easy. I might actually swap this out with the style that you see on the ATVs a lot. It's got some wings that stick off of it. It makes it a lot easier to adjust it on the fly. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Boop, boop. Boop, boop, boop. But for now, we'll keep everything together. Good enough. All right, brake lever. All right, the pedal should be pretty easy to remove now that we've got foot pegs out of the way. Oh, I don't really like that design, dude. Well, this is something I didn't really expect. With the brake linkage disconnected, the lever arm is actually able to just run up here and hit the case. And with how long this pedal is and how short that little arm is, I bet you could very easily accidentally send that right into the case, crack stuff, break stuff. No bueno. So note to self, the rear brakes need to stay adjusted properly all the time, just to make sure that those guys are fully engaged long before this gets anywhere near our engine case. Strange design right there. Let's see if we can just pop all this off of here. Ooh, spring. Hey, boop. What is that? 19? 19. Oh, that's just, that's just loose. I'm gonna need to remove this spring from the brake light switch as well. Maybe I can get this thing loose and off of here first, and then wiggle that spring out of the way. I don't know, we'll have to see. Hey, come on. There you are. Wow. Nice and clean, dude. We like to see that. Okay, now. Brake light switch. Can we pull that whole thing out? A couple threads. Oh yeah, there we go. Okay. Cool. Well, that's easy enough. Now, before we start, ooh, that's a little, that might be a little too crusty. I don't really want to go and bend that. Might have to though. Okay, that's that out of the way-ish. Now we've got to get rear linkage out of there. Self-disassembling brake light switch, nice. Some more self-disassembling brake light parts. Man, I love Hondas. I'm trying to manipulate this in a way that lets me get to this cotter pin a little more easier. But, well, she ain't really complying. I do like how the head of this little clevis pin here is flat, so it's not trying to spin while I'm trying to straighten this cotter pin out. That's really nice. Kind of like that. I really wish I could get to the underside of this. That would be most excellent, but there is just no way that's gonna happen. Unless we come up behind the buddy pig. But hey, actually, bro. Okay. So it will actually not thread, but it'll squeeze between the buddy peg and the swing arm. Yeah, straight on through. There we go. Cool. So this is what I'm dealing with on the other side here, is just this little cotter pin. It's hard to get to, just a little bit. There we go. Now, this little clevis should pop right out of here. There we go, there's our linkage. Yeah, I like this flat head on this clevis. It's really nice, the way that it just fits in here and doesn't let it spin while you're trying to manipulate that cotter pin. And man, that's really nice. Cool. More things should do that use cotter pins. Sweet. All right, well, we've got brake stuff out of here, rear brake stuff. Linkages are all still connected to the wheel and the swing arm and all that, but that's fine, because all we're really going for here is the engine delete kit. So what do we have left? We need to pull the tack cable, wiring. What do we have? Charging circuit, need to pull that out. Hot lead coming from the starter needs to come out. Ignition needs to come out. We should go ahead and pull the key switch and the horn as well, because you can kind of see they're pretty close to the engine. That's really going to make it a pain to get out of there. So wiring stuff needs to come out. Clutch cable, so side cover, chain, clutch cable, and then engine mounts. Mr. Duke. What? That? Don't. We installed the 175 delete kit. Okay? Cool, well, we've already got this guy opened up. Oh. Well, that was easy. No more charging. Yeah. Condenser. Get out of there. Ugh. Lord. Okay. Points are disconnected. yellow and blue. Remember that. Okay, well, let's get the key switch out of here. I think that'll pull the horn out too. Looks like, yup, them dudes go all the way through. 10 millimeter, always, every time. Ooh, just about need a deep well for these guys. Oh, hey, that is actually coming out and not spinning. Same with that side. I don't believe it. Can you? What do we have here? We got lock washer, flat washer, and some grommetage. Hey, looks like it. I was gonna say, looks like it might just come right out. Sure enough, it did. Well, kinda. Horn. 12 volt it, and light green horn. Switched 12 volt, solid black, old Honda, solid black wire, switched 12 volt power. Why is that bushing stuck in there so well? Sweet. Oh, that bushing's a little mushed. Mushing. That's why it's so difficult to pull off of there. So we've got horn. How did they squeeze this in there? Good. Well, we've had some corrosion that's just kind of hopped down into this plug. Might need to let her eat on some WD for a little bit. There's no battery in here, by the way, so we're not going to be shorting anything out. I can just move the key switch out of the way. That'll give us enough room to get this engine out. Then we can go back in here and tinker with this thing once she's fed. You know, WD-40 fed. Look at all the pieces. Mushing. Hey, it's a circle again. Maybe. Yup. Oh, this one's kind of boogered too, dude. Mushing. 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 That's pretty good. Let's see. If it slides on, we're done. It does? Uh-oh. Well, it does that far. Oh, yeah. I don't even know why y'all are worried. I'm telling you. Like butter every time. I'm going to go ahead and reassemble this, though. I guess we'll leave the blinker relay just dingle-dangling there. It'll be fine. We'll stick it up there where the key switch is, and it'll be nice and out of the way. Dirty! Okay. Got our high tension leads. I mean, we could just about... That's why Honda put this here. Just so you could stick your spark plug leads in there. Bro, I'm so good. I accidentally left it in neutral. Wow. Hey, yeah. Well, Master Link has fallen apart. Beautiful. You'll love to see it. Ugh. That's what's left of the Master Link. I imagine that this chain's gonna have to get cut off of here, because no way does that push through. How is this working? Oh, I spoke too soon. Okay, we got we got one we need to extract. Oh. All right, well, not the end of the world. I need to get a number 3 because, well, doing this with a number 2 Phillips makes me cringe at least as much as it makes y'all cringe, trust me. I want to replace all of these. I hate having Phillips on the outside. I'd kind of prefer the, you know, your more modern Honda, little tiny 8mm headed bolts. Just a better option than Phillips screws. Does seem like it's got the right screws in the right locations, so that's good news. Okay. Well, we may have had to get a little bit extracty. No big deal. We're bound to run into that on here. Can I just say, this smells like a boat motor, dude. 2-stroke gas and oil. Not good. Not good. I like the smell. This engine shouldn't smell like that. What is all of this? We have critters. That's the most terrifying looking thing. What is this? Come on. Yuck. Hey, we have our ball bearing in... Ew, bro. We've got the ball bearing in the little clutch thrust dealy. I don't really know what you call that. Ugh. Nasty. Alright. Well, I reckon let's moose milk up. Oh, moose milk. Hello, moose milk. Let's go ahead and just let her eat for a sec. Be really nice if I could just, ooh, I don't know, if I could just pull this sprocket off of here. Also, that sprocket, ow, is huge. Why is this sprocket so big? And the nice thing is, of course, it's in neutral. No big deal. Anything is possible, fellas. Wow, this is a huge front sprocket, I feel like, for such a relatively small machine. I mean, I'm into it. It's just big. Boop. Right off. That looks kind of nice. Now, will you come all the way off? Look, I know the easiest thing to do, oh yes, is just to pull the master link out of the chain, take the chain out, yada yada. I get it. The problem is that master link's frozen solid and my angle grinder is all the way on the other side of the house. We'll go ahead and just put this back together for now. Don't want to be losing pieces. Thought I was going to have to take the clutch cable out. You know, I mean, I still will. But I don't have to get the engine out. We'll just, boop, set that right up there. No big deal. Boys! Good grief. Oh. Well, that's just going to come right out. Boom! Bolt number 1. Oh, that should have been more difficult, I feel like. Hey, knock it off. What's left? Tack cable starter cable, engine mounts. That's it, dude. All right, let's just time lapse this. You're welcome. Woo! That's heavy. Yeah, she'll come out of it. Well, be careful. I kind of expected a little more fight out of her. I mean, it fought a little bit. There's a spacer on one of these forward engine mounts that was stuck in there pretty good. Kind of held the whole engine up, actually. But I got in there and bah, punched that thing out, and she did fine. Came right out. So we can get to work on this thing. I have to take off the head to get into the shoulders, and then take that out because it's the two jugulars that we're interested in. They're holding this whole thing up. This is gonna be a fun little build. Look, let me know what you guys want to see in the comments. You want to see a full rebuild on this engine, just top to bottom? You want to see like a top to bottom cleanup? We'll probably do that anyway. Or should we keep it simple? Should we just see if we can knock the pistons loose, check out our cylinders and make sure that they're in, you know, decent order, put her back together and see if we can't just have a runner quickly? I mean, any of those options could also change as soon as we open anything up and see what the guts look like. But that's it, dude. She's out. The next episode on this bike is going to be us taking the top end off of this thing and seeing if we can't knock this thing loose. We'll dig into her. Judging by everything I've seen so far taking this bike apart, I reckon everything above and below the cylinders is pretty clean. That'd be dope. But we'll find out together next episode. Thanks for being here. We'll catch you in the next one. See ya.